speak to Michael Taylor, a climate science professor at the University of the West Indies. Before we get on to your area of expertise, give me an idea of what it is like where you are as we're speaking.
In my own yard, tree limbs have come down, and you can see evidence of things being blown around.
It's been called the storm of the century. We were hearing from Rebecca Allen, who talked about last year, and Beryl, and actually living through that. In terms of your own experience and what you've lived through, how does it compare?
I lived through Gilbert in 1988. I was much younger then. And in terms of what we are expecting, especially where it makes landfall, this will be worse than that.
In terms of a storm of this magnitude, this strength, this ferocity, why are we seeing that? Is it linked in any way to climate change?
For us as Caribbean climate scientists, we see what we call the imprints or the signatures of storms in a global warming era. Certainly, the Caribbean Sea is unusually warm. It's 1 to 2 degrees warmer than, past average. And the warmth extends through quite a bit of depth. And once you have that warmth and depth, you not only have the atmospheric moisture, but you have the fuel. Other key things, of course, the slow speed. It has picked up a little now, but we have been preparing for this for the last week. And, the kind of science now is beginning to investigate the role of climate change in the slow speed, the super size, of course, and the fact that it's covering, it covers the entire island. There are some really strong imprints of climate change. What we expect storms to look like in a climate change era, this is definitely one of them.
So a twin final thought to you. So perhaps climate change isn't responsible for more hurricanes, but perhaps the ferocity of them, given the air, the sea temperatures you're describing, it makes them more powerful. I think that's how you've summarised that. So am I right about that? And also you talked about the long lead up, given the speed. In terms of mental fatigue for all of you sitting there waiting for it to hit, what is that like?
The mental fatigue, I have been describing this as almost, a psychological marathon. We got our first bulletin for Beryl last Tuesday, and we have been expecting landfall Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. We've been making preparations, and here we are a week later. The country is experiencing real mental fatigue here, and it's now one of the areas we have to look on when we look on climate change. It's the impact on mental health. Yes, we know the other impacts on health, and we now have to figure out adaptation, that it must include this kind of mental health aspect, both before, in the lead up, if this is the kind of, storm preparation period, 1 week, during, and then, of course, immediately after, when we have the very strong impact and the trauma.
Professor Taylor, we have to leave it there. Fascinating talking to you. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and good luck in the coming hours.
Thank you very much.